Hello everyone and welcome back to Backyard Garden. Today is another hot and dry sunny day in Southern California. A couple of days ago we have a heat spike again, up to 105 degrees. So as you can see, the weather is dramatically changed within a couple of days, going from 80 plus degree now to over 100. And today is Friday, May 8th, I think. I lost track of the date. But anyway, today is quite hot too. But today is up to about 90 plus degrees. So as you can see here, all the plants are growing nicely because of the warmth temperature. But however, having said that, the soil is very definitely very dry. I have amended the soil pretty nice, pretty well this beginning of the season. So the soil was able to withstand some of the heat and able to maintain, or I should say, able to keep some of the moisture, even though it's kind of dry. On top here, there's a lot of compost you can see here. All right, now before I give you a little bit of update in our garden here, I want to give you a little perspective on this side here. So on this side here, we haven't grown anything yet. Because I haven't had time to amend the soil, but as you can see from this point on, about every one of them is about 5 feet, so 20 feet all the way down there. As you can see, all these plants are just popping up because of the hot weather. So you can see, if you've been watching my video, this is a very typical plant that I grow every year. This is one of the bitter melon variety. As you can see, they just pop up everywhere. Now some of this here were planted last season, and the seed came off from the fruit, and now it's starting to grow. So Mother Nature tends to do a better job than I can. So I tried to germinate the seed in the seed tray, and it didn't work. The seed actually died and is rotted, and I never had a seed actually germinated. But when the seed were left to their own device, as you can see here, they just pop up like crazy. So here is the nice one here. So I intended to keep all this. Some of them I have to pull up to make more space. But I think I'm going to keep some of this plant here and allow them to continue to grow. I hate to pull them out. Also, I have another plant here that is growing freely for me. This is a millbar spinach. This is a red variety. I'll show you the other variety, green as well. So as you can see here, look at all this bitter melon just everywhere. And as you come down to this side of the garden, look at this. Holy cow. So all this here, all this tiny little guys here are the millbar spinach. I planted them here last season. Right there in the pole right there, that was the passion fruit. As you can see, I removed pretty much everything. I even removed some of the trellises. I'm going to reuse them in another part of the garden. But as you can see, all this red millbar spinach, just hundreds of them everywhere, including the bitter melon. So I didn't want to do anything yet because I want to make this video to show you guys before I pull them up and plant them somewhere else, or maybe just leave them there. However, I have to thin them out. Just so many of them, just literally hundreds of them. Look at this, incredible. It's just absolutely amazing. All right, so that's the millbar spinach, red variety, and the bitter melon. So let me go over there and show you guys what I have done this evening. Right now it's almost 7 p.m. in the evening. And the weather is cooling down a little bit, maybe still 80 plus degrees, still hot. I'm sweating, but the sun has come down, and the weather has cooled down a bit, so that's why I'm coming here to do some of this yard work. So today I went and bought 2 of this 6-plant plant. This is okra. This one is called the Annie Oakley type 2 variety. I don't know what that means, but anyway, it's non-GMO. So this is a 6-pack. As you can see here, each one of this pack actually has 2 plants grow out of them. I will just pick one out of two. I'm not going to break them apart because once you break them apart, usually you will damage the root system. So I'll just choose one out of the two and just remove one. All right. And here is another 6-pack here. This is a Persian cucumber. This is the variety I like to grow every year. So we will put them down right here in this spot right here. So I'm prepping the soil. I'm adding a lot of compost here. You can see here, this is organic compost, garden soil compost. I'm gonna add them here. All right. And this section right there, I already seed the yard bean. Another name for that is asparagus bean. It's a really long bean, like 24 to 30 inches. The bean pot is very long. So that's where we're gonna plant them out. Okay. Now the soil, I've been adding a lot of amendment to the soil maybe 2 months ago, but I haven't planted anything here. So the soil seems quite nice. It's not as dark as I want to, but it's still very, it's very dark compared to other part of the garden. So this one here is also an herb, and I want to make this video just to show you how incredible this plant adapts to some of the soil here without any care, without any, virtually without any kind of nutrients at all. This one just grow by themselves, literally, because of the seed just spread everywhere. This part of the garden is very dry and it's very sandy. Somehow, this variety of herb here likes that. So that's incredible. Now I just kind of discovered something different. I have not read anything about this plant. I just grow them in my garden, and spontaneously they just spread everywhere. But some of them do very well, even without much water and care. This is one example. Now I already pulled out some of them here. I had like maybe 3-4 of them here, so I'm gonna pull out this one because I want to make room for the Persian cucumber. And the reason why I want to show you this is this. Watch. So as I pull them out, and it's very easy to pull them out, and it's very sandy. And I want to show you the awesome root system. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? This is a root system it's not very big and long, but as you can see, it's very fibrous. It's almost like a brush, right? So it's amazing how this root system is. It's very, it's not like a gigantic root system, but it's very fibrous. What I mean by that is just has so many branches to the roots. So it's not just one or two, but it's just like a brush. And the plant is only about maybe 18 inches, and it has so much root system. That tell you that the plant is really suitable to this soil. It likes the sandy soil. It also likes the well-drained soil. So typically, when I remove a plant, I pull them up, and I can tell just based on the root system, not just the root system, of course, on the top too, that how well the plant is doing. So the plant on top, on the top part, it's remarkable, it's beautiful. But on the bottom, because the top is so well developed, the bottom has to be quite well as well. So as you can see, this is the proof. Okay. Oh my God! Look at that. You see that?
Well, why do I have that? That's bug. So green.
Yeah, it's just a little bug because it's eating on this.
Why do I have the feeling that it's
What do you have there for me?
Oh, this. My uncle can give it to me.
Do you know what is this?
No. Looks like an orange.
This is a loquat.
What's a loquat?
One of my favorite fruit is loquat. Okay. All right. You give to Daddy, right?
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you. So we got a little interrupt there, but it's fine. Say hi. You want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
And you too? Okay.
I'm just gonna leave that.
Oh, you're gonna leave it here? Okay. Thank you. All right. So unfortunately, I have to remove it. I didn't want to, but I have to make room for some new plant. As you can see here, the soil. Look how sandy it is. Look at that. And this 12 inches from here to there, it's virtually all sandy, and there's nothing else. Only the good soil, maybe here. Only the good soil is from here to about there. So from here, from this point on to the wall, it's pretty much dead soil. I call it dead soil. It's just sand. That's it. Okay, but I just want to show you this All right, so again, that part there, I already laid down some seeds, and hopefully, I think we still have a long season to go. So this is May, and as you can still grow a lot of summer vegetable. Okay, so here, as you can see, all these beets here are growing nicely. They are developing really fast. I think I have too many of them, but anyway, I already planted them out, so I'm going to leave them. And look at this. Look at how much have they grown so far. Holy, look at that. And here's my little lettuce bed here. Only about maybe 5 foot, but still a lot of them start coming up. And all the green mustard are growing very nicely. As you can see here, they almost like 10 times the way the growth compared to a few weeks ago. They were tiny little thing like this, remember that? And now they're about 8 to 9 inches tall now. They're spreading out because of the heat, so they start growing very fast. Now, one thing you notice that there's a lot of tiny little hole there. This vegetable, for whatever reason, I have not planted them before. This is my first season planting them. And I noticed that it's very susceptible to some of the green insects. They love them. So they just love this because the leaves are very nice and tender. I mean, look at that. It's beautiful, nice and green. So who wouldn't love this plant, right? But this has been chewed on and they've been attacked by a lot of these insects. And some of those leaves are, nice, fairly young leaves, and they've been just devastated by the insect attack. On this side, the plants are much bigger. This few guys here is very nice. Also in the background there, last season I have some bitter melons, and again they start popping up again, so I just leave them. I'm going to grow some here, and you can see there, look at that. All right, and again there's also other plants here. There's a lot of volunteer plants here that if you don't pay attention you wouldn't know, but of course I know that because I'm the owner here, so I plant them out, so I know exactly what are they. Middlebar spinach, the green variety, as you can see there. And this plant them over here too. I want to show you here too. So here, look at here. Those are middlebar spinach. Oh, by the way, this is one of the fuzzy melon, mokwa. I think that's what they call in Chinese. And I plant 2 of them out here. Now this one here I didn't have space. I kind of like stuck them in the back there, and hopefully they'll go big enough to overcome the shading here from the beets. So as long as they get up to above maybe 10 inch, then they will climb up to the trellis, and they will be fine. Same thing with this guy. In front of it, it's the eggplant, Japanese eggplant, and in the back of that is the mokwa. And here are some more middlebar spinach, green variety. By the way, they're everywhere too. They're in that side too. So that's the plan. Again, about maybe 4 weeks ago, I couldn't plant them because it's still cold. So I started the seed about over a month ago. So that's where they're gonna stay, and hopefully they'll come up here to the trellis. Okay, and they can climb over this section here. All right, so what else I want to show you? So here, so my cilantro is going to seed. Look at this. It's almost 2.5, 3 feet tall now. Beautiful plant, beautiful flower. Look at all cilantro, over 3 feet tall. And in the background there, those are my grapes, tomatoes. I got 2 plants, and they're finally starting to take off now. They're over 3 feet tall now. As you can see, that one is very nice and robust. As long as the temperatures keep steady, nice and warm, they'll grow very fast. And this here's, wow, this cilantro here is so tall now. And this one is also another cherry tomatoes, and I'm gonna go single stem up to this trellis here. So now it's up to almost about 3.5 feet now. The background is the San Diego tomato. Again, look at how beautiful that stem looks. Just huge. So look at that. So now I allow them to branch off 2 separate branches up to this trellis. Okay. Here we have our cayenne pepper. It's doing fairly okay, I would say. About maybe 20, maybe almost over 2 feet tall now. And again, we have some more millibar spinach here. Just volunteer, just pop up everywhere. And again, the mints keep coming in, and millibar spinach. All right, let me turn around and show you a few more before we close this video. So last season I had some of the millibar spinach in the container here, and as you can see, all the seeds are just starting to pop. The tune comes up now, and then I dig them up, and some of them I put them back into the container. So this is the container that I'm going to plant them again for the millibar spinach. And then in the background there, those are some of my garlic. Garlic tend not to do very well in the very hot heat. As you can see, as soon as the temperature hit 100 degrees, and look what happened to them. They just get destroyed pretty fast. They were doing quite well over a month ago in the nice and cool weather, but you know, the temperature changed, and this is what happened to them. They got destroyed. They were doing quite well, by the way. Oh, and by the way, in this container, look at this, all the seeds from the millibar spinach. They're everywhere. They just, look at this, including on here too. And in this container, you have some cilantros growing, and all this here, are the bitter melon, and they're all volunteer. So I will have to probably erect a little trellis here along the side here and allow them to grow along the fence here. Okay. Okay, so what else I want to show you guys before we stop this video. So this side here of the house, finally this plant's starting to grow a little bit. This is one of our baka Charleston, if you want to call them. This plant is starting to react to the soil and the heat, so that's why they start to grow. It was a very tiny little plant, but now it's kind of developing right now. It's kind of growing. Here's the strawberry patch. Finally react to a lot of compost. I add a lot of compost to it, and you can see they are actually growing. All right, so I have to end this video, and I have to go back to back there to do some of the work because the sun is setting on me now. As you can see, there's. All right, well, thank you for watching the video. Please tune in for more updates, and we'll see you back in the backyard. Stay safe.